catch these opportunities when I can. Tomorrow, the Office of National Statistics is going to publish the official land registry house prices for confirmed transactions that were registered in November 2022. So 2 months ago. And I wanted to, before we know what those results are, I wanted to just share my thoughts with you, because it doesn't really matter what they are. It doesn't change my view, because the thing everyone's got to remember is that everything that happens in the housing market happens in slow motion, very, very slowly. And you'll get blips here and blips there, and people go, oh, does that mean it's turned around? And you've got to remember that the line on the graph very rarely goes one way or one way. It's always up, little blips up and down. Now, I think my expectation is that it will show November, official house prices in November will have come down. I don't know by how much, I haven't got a prediction on that. But they might show that they're flat, they might even show they've gone up slightly, because there were a lot of weird impacts and effects last year. But the point is, whatever they say about November's transactions, it doesn't change what's happening today in January, because those transactions are from any period between sort of October right the way back to like March last year, in terms of when the transactions were agreed. But the fundamentals are still the same, which is that first-time buyers have had their budgets slashed by interest rates. Affordability has got worse, which is why there's this Mexican standoff between buyers and sellers. And even if they say that in November house prices went up like 1%, which I'm not expecting, it doesn't change my view that right now in January 2023, at the coalface of where property deals are being agreed, I'm getting agents contacting me almost daily, just quietly saying, Charlie, it's absolute carnage out here. We can't get the deals done. And I'm getting buyers contacting me saying the agents are making really strange decisions, like they won't accept our offer at all because we've got something to sell. You know, we've got one person contacted me and said, we're 50% cash, and the other 50% is coming out of a property we've got to sell. Virtually zero borrowing, so we're rock solid. We've made a really good offer. And the agent says we won't be able to do it fast enough, so they're turning it down. But they haven't got any other offers. And that says to me that there are some agents out there who are placing speed of transaction higher than the value of a transaction. I sense amongst some agents who've never experienced this kind of market, I'm sensing a little bit of panic. I mean, that's completely understandable, right? If you've never experienced a market like this and suddenly it comes along and you weren't expecting it, and you could argue that maybe they should have expected it or not, but it doesn't matter whether they should or shouldn't have expected it. If you weren't expecting it, even the agents who have agreed with me on what the market's doing have told me it's really caught them even more sharply than they were expecting. They were expecting falls, quite significant falls gradually this year. They weren't expecting it to be as tough as it is right now. Really, really difficult to tie up deals. Loads of uncertainty, loads of people changing their mind. We had unemployment figures out today and wage figures, and wage inflation is up record high, like 6% wage inflation. But in real terms, income is falling faster than it has for a long time because of inflation. Which are both bits of bad news, because it means that with wage inflation going up, that pushes the pressure up on interest rates. Forgive me guys, I'm down in Cornwall. Long story. A very long story for another time. I'm down in Cornwall just briefly. Yeah, so whatever they say, and I will of course do a reaction to whatever the numbers are when they come out. But if you're a buyer, don't be wobbled or perturbed by just one set of data, okay? Throughout the month we get data almost every day, don't we? Or certainly every week about the housing market. So if I see any sign of the market really strengthening or confidence returning, I'll be the first to tell you. If I get that feedback through the agents that I'm talking to, I'll be the first to tell you. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. And I think when the true the truth of what's happening at the coalface of housing in January finally comes out in the figures, which we won't do for another 5 or 6 months. We'll be able to look back at this video. So this is January 2023. If you're watching this in July 2023, put a comment underneath. Let me know. Was I right or was I wrong? We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, guys. I don't know. Nobody knows. But I just can't see it doing anything other than falling. The price is falling quite steeply for a while. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next